And on the phone line with us, we have Rhymefest, Grammy award-winning Rhymefest, the co-writer of the song "Jesus Walks," among other things. Rhymefest, man, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up, Dave?
Good, man. It's good to hear from you. Man, you've been doing a lot of things, man. Running for office, putting out good music. You're like the consummate Renaissance man. And now you're down in Arizona. I mean, not Arizona, but Alabama. What does this mean for you to be down there to see what's going on with this law, particularly how it's impacting the Latino community?
Well, I think it's interesting that you say Latino community because how I see it is I came down here on a research mission on how it's impacting the Black American community. I think with everything that you hear about Blacks and Latinos being at war, especially like in L.A. and the gang thing and in popular culture, it becomes Black and Latinos being at odds. I want to come down here and see, how their struggle and racism and against racist laws really related to our history in America. And so, I found a lot of correlation in how it relates historically
Right.
and how it relates to this.
Are you on a speakerphone? Did you put it on?
I'm sorry?
Your voice, it sounded like you was on a
Oh,
speakerphone.
yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like how their struggle related to ours historically and how their struggle relates to ours today.
How do you see the two connecting?
Well, number one, historically, we had to fight Jim Crow, which was a law that was enacted that didn't necessarily say black, but put us through so many loops and holes that we couldn't really move free in a society the way that free people should be able to move. That's exactly what's going on in Alabama. You take, for example, this HB 56, what they got. They can't re-up their car plates. They can't re-register their children for school. You can't renew a lease for your apartment or for your trailer home. So basically, it's like you cannot even live in Alabama, you know what I'm saying, if you're undocumented, even if you're on a path to citizenship. So now what if your shorties are American citizens because they were born here and you're undocumented? What that means is there's a humanitarian crisis going on out here with young people being ripped away from their parents. Sound like slavery to me. But then I give you another instance. The prison industrial complex, part one of it was the fake war on drugs, locking up nonviolent black offenders. You know what I mean? Part two of it is criminalizing immigration. There's a whole business, Dave, of sheriffs, judges, lawyers, institutions, SWAT teams getting paid to scoop up, do sweeps of young black and brown people. Black people, man, even if you don't relate or feel like immigration is your thing, there is something to be outraged about the whole prison system that's saying, let's get everybody that's from the underserved communities. That's what I learned.
That's interesting that you pointed that out because one of the things, and I'm sure you notice this, in places like Alabama, definitely in Texas and Louisiana, these places, the money is made coming and going. Money is given to put up these private prisons and detention centers, but then people also wind up paying for their own incarceration. And you miss a payment, the clock starts again on you. So if I owe $100, miss a payment, then I kick back and I still owe $100 again. And that's a big money making thing. So you have economic incentive. The other thing is that we just did with all the Occupy stuff that's been going on, one of the things that's been targeted was the banks, in particular Wells Fargo, which has invested quite a bit of money in setting up these private detention camps. So that's where the payoff is. We might not see it immediately in California, but the investment is made in these other places where, as you pointed out, swooping up people is a thriving business. With that being said, what's the next step for you? What do you feel that you're going to be doing next, seeing all this?
Well, one of the most powerful things that I know how to do is make music. So, Jaziri X and I have made a song called Illegals, questioning who exactly are the illegals. You know what I'm saying? When we're speaking about that, because the whole word illegal alien is like some type of dude from outer space that is selling dope. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, who's illegal? Who came here legally and called somebody else illegal? So the most powerful thing that's within my capacity is music making, and so that's what we're going back to doing. And I'm so happy to have teamed up with Jaziri to really grasp the issues and be able to go out there and do it, and just learn a lot from our experience of running for office of how to organize and how to really come at the whole situation as a political figure and as an activist. So I'm gonna use all my capacity.
Hey, let me ask you this. Will you be running again? You think you're going to run again for office?
I don't know. I mean, in my hood, it depends on the situation on the ground when that time comes. But, definitely, I tell you this, man. Thank you, Davey D. I got to give you a big shout out. You was the first person when I announced that I was running. You were the first person that took me serious, and you were the first person to interview me about it and blast it out so that a major, portion of the population would know about that. And we were looked at as a novelty candidate coming in, but we pushed the incumbent into a runoff, which meant it was just me and him, and we didn't. I don't believe we lost, but they say we lost by 300 votes out of thousands and thousands of votes. We came this close to beating an incumbent who was a retired police sergeant. You know what I'm saying? And it scared the hell out of the system. One of the things people don't know is that Rahm Emanuel had to jump in the last week and give dude $200,000.
Wait a second. Let's rewind that again. Rahm Emanuel, former chief of staff, had to jump into your race to help your opponent?
Yes, in the last week, because he was getting beat. Hey, baby, D, we got endorsed by the teachers union, by the labor union, by SEIU. Cornell West came down to do a fundraiser. Lupe, Al Sharpton, everybody jumped down in Chicago. It was going down, man, and you helped kick that off. So it was going down. This wasn't a regular city council run. This was kind of crazy. And so Rahm Emanuel stayed out of the whole thing for the whole race. And the last week when the polls were showing dude was losing, he jumped in with that money. And then when they say, dude won by 300 votes, it was real shaky, man. It was a lot of tension. And so what I decided to do was let it go. Don't challenge it. We got work to do around the country, you know what I mean? And I'm going to focus on this, focus on the rap, and we'll see what happens when that time comes.
And the other thing that we should also mention is that your opponent tried to go dirty on you. He was trying to bring up your lyrics and all that, but it didn't stick.
No, it was deeper than lyrics. My opponent was calling me a gang member. So it got dangerous in my hood because my hood is really gang. It's a lot of gang issues and murder issues in my hood. People getting murdered, and so we're one of the most violent districts in the city. And so what happened when he was saying I was a gang member, he was saying, if I got elected, then what would happen is that the rival gang would come over and shoot up the whole neighborhood. And I was trying to organize my gang politically. And the danger in that is that Larry Hoover is under the prison for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And trying to organize politically through crime. And the other problem with that is you trying to get me and my family shot the hell up as we walk down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like putting, as a police officer, he knew what he was doing, how sometimes police drop you off in the opposite neighborhood. He was trying to do that politically. And so it put us in a little bit of danger. But, the crazy thing is right now, man, my hood love me to death, G. Love me to death in the hood. And we continuing to work.
Man, that's crazy. But, I'm glad you shared with us just how dastardly some of these folks will get. And we're glad that, you know, in many people's minds, you did win because you took it to a level where they had to pull out all the stops, and even then, they weren't really able to beat you. So we appreciate that.
But this is my message to rappers, though. This is my message to rappers. Look, man, it's no way no rapper can say they hood if they not working in their hood. It's no way. I don't want to hear no rappers talking about, man, how they love their block if they not working for their block. If don't nobody on their block really know them, they really don't have the right to say that, because there's people on the front lines at war, fighting, community organizing, doing all types of things for the block. And you know, rappers is making rappers lose credibility. You know what I mean? I definitely, as an artist, had to be called, even on things that I said, so I don't exclude myself, but I'm saying, man, the time for play is over. If you're going to do art and do music and you want to talk about girls and other things, you know, that's fine and great, but, man, please don't come talking about you hood if you ain't really doing nothing to help your hood, because, man, you know, you're going to be the one. Eventually, things are happening in this country right now that the fakers are going to be taken out by the real people in the jungle. And you putting yourself up for death.
That's real talk. That's serious talk right there. You know, Rhymefest, we're going to take a break. We're going to play a song from you. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. Jasiri X is also in the building. So, Rhymefest, thank you so much for sharing with us your thoughts from Alabama.